bi sa me say captain say ade no de amasa so nko ana nam so da bi wo pese oba betimi aba
wani
enti me boy no ana mabọ wo so aka ho enra ya shase na ye ka rent asem
ojai
e ka cho se enra no pa me ba no me ka se me ade bi a me so bi a me de to nchen me dru adwuma mu a that must start to frigate da no
ojai
Bibusa, your head of security, I will get no supo. Sir, Sankamini Bibia can I say on Chema, some American and Kakadon, seven case private security for a cat to us.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm saying, no, I yet there, but and which I bear 5 minutes.
Ajetta.
And I Bibusa cleaner. Abaya do a coco.
Captain Smart.
Oh, yeah, where?
So.
And then Busan say, Sankamanfa Bibia ma. And I'm say on treme asama meka nko beka den said then I'm in koka
ojai
and I say or person meka say yemwa cleaners I'm so okay and also nya bad
ojai
but no make me man be 3 minutes we make me aka ho asem. So when I got here and I'm busa won ha nyina say and obi a treme de am koka
wani
GH boy man and also rent them so okay you for rent na anko
ojai
cause rent there who Ashanti region rent affect you who Greater Accra Central Western Eastern mama ka sam show who we yet wo Jubilee House Accra rent how
ojai
who we yet go Jubilee House Accra rent etito in fact yes dan no kura no rent high
gwen
metro mu what you say baba me mbo Ghana Armed Forces abaso me de bia me ka say we ye nipa ben wo so said den wo a wonim say dem tie yes me kan me ka kire wo ye ade papa nso abeka me hu video bi and no pay ya me ba ya na my able producer Godwin Kwaku Tete esa alert me hu say soldier for bi wo kwan ho na wo kire say de student bi be dress ye
ojai
manage papa and I was told say no mo control eye BEC kra and if you look at how soldier for no it we share say enkwada no dress ye na eye stay just 2 minutes we are blacks we are not white
ojai
yen asase so ewe wo ye bibifo enya abrofo it is a wudi ni pehia na opeso ya na de te se broni a
bibini
jare ho
bibini
ada awia be bo pa no e ho na be say heat be ba ni tirim no be say so ye bibini on drink correct
ojai
ye so na ye ko school no ye bibifo ye bibini bia hieja
ojai
eti wo pa wo ni obi ye adwuma na so obi ye adwuma ma na wutua de ka
ojai
se wan ba adwuma hwe ne saa ba ya afe efie bienu dakro a wan ba adwuma no te 100 cedis free na ketuam onye late bium obeba adwuma
le
ojai
wo de men ye no hwe o men tia no query no nothing ne bosom ne so a wo de esika no na ketua ne koto na account mu no so da fie 3 days na sa woman 2000 na what 300 no woman 1007 woman krata bia wo ono abehwehwe wo office kwan
gwen
Ghana for
I just say
the
this month me checking me salary no na asan ka say 2000 e ba me 1007 obi say Monday wo ba adwuma
Ghana for
Tuesday no wo ba adwuma o se da bi Wednesday swear o se mama anyi bia wo tro krata bi na wo ma information bi say wuntimi mma wo yare o se da bi manye and they are free if you say mere ne kono so nko school da kro be pen ba wo train school fees manatro brofu bi a ya bro say I am not a secam.
Do and die, kill, what kill you, I free.
I am a very sick,
Gwen.
I and my doctor is on bed. She said, "Me to me medjuma, me yare pa." My doctor say, "Wajimi ato empem."
Bibia wrong.
Matiapo, me bedjuma.
Bibia
no dew. Say enye dew. Say what tiasio. Say what tiasio. Sa na ni bibini tina.
Bibia wrong for baumia.
Before. Yempa dia emro ye ne nyame boy enti enkwa home na nyame gu ye egu nipa mu no ogugu bibinim Adam oye bibini ofichechewre Adam chechewre ena ofire se ye nyine no menim ba bia God will call primary school but definitely be so many important ho
Wani
menim ba bia Misachu or primary school. But me sure say anya greater crab voter regi. Say a school I know why you more say anameboa. What you say? If you know why you say. So why we na more na fua na wo keka. No akwa you say net teacher ni no or the cane. Enemu. Na o hwe say o more no to say. At that time, na you share your school, na you say your more you fee, your more funo. It shows how irresponsible our parents were. Because akwada on the vie, beye do nine. And Moreno said the Tibiano and father home. It's a chance say your mama and your papa no money in quiet home. At that time, no, it was education. And your woman school call. And a man, your mamma and your papa who says, "Send out Quadampo," as I see a bubuni more. Into school. No, I'm kind of saying, teacher, follow. Is it show your fingers? Fingers, come be graphic. Now, I won't say your friend inspection every morning. Yeah, inspection. Bibini. Oh, here, micromanagement and yeah, macro. Every black man. And it's that me, I am in Penese. You better 2 years what president in Semino. Every in some say the main institutions. I'm far. Africa. You need to understand how Africa operates. And how the black man behave. It is a way you say you're practicing democracy. And that you want to import and transport what is done in Europe, what is done in America into Africa. Massa, you yourself will go back and say that yes, ancestral constitution. And this one, let me say this humbly and respectfully. To one, your constitution, what you want to say? Be mindful. The powers that you take away from the president. When you're careful, I am telling you, we will go back and say that yes, I first our powers and I'm a president.
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows.
It's a good school here, more.
He is smart. He is unique. He is
yes, see. I mean, we are sick. These are some of the things that sometimes when I sit down, I ask myself, since when? And I say, I qualify the by force near the bank, Ghana. Pacho, Abroche, a quiet papa, I will one day acquire into me for me. A danya affair, your qua, into me for be mo. Friend, into me for be ma. Suku danya papa into me fabi ma teacher fo aye hwe wo yie e mo wo kira de yie into me fa no bi ma dem me yakwa say oh me kwa America me to New York first me yakani Yankee me hwe ne ma mo ye wo ho no ye de no bi ba ha e be yie na ye refi say your culture your understanding how we behave and this sad nobody can ever advise any president, any prime minister, or what Israel said. Eko say Israel bekoko. It is part of their DNA. It is Israel need to say Israel ekoko and then age.
Ojaye.
Meboa. Say Israel need to say o man Israel ekoko a. Now man age Ghana for oti Jerusalem ne Tel Aviv for no. What fit out by the here. Omo twa videos. Siren na born the cheme. Say yeah had say kone ba. You may siren ya pe baby di eti akwhye. Le. Na yeah Israel for the Ghana ni wo free ayi your friend say me pe kro bi di aban. Twapiesie. What in Israel? I say yeah kokon a. Ye kwa he ko a wo ni Israel da ben. Yeah kokon a ye bo siren said ye be ya. You better say bomb be ban ya pe baby di eti akwhye. The structure of Israel, the socio-political orientation, the psychological orientation of every Israeli is war. Take it or leave it. Israel for they are not interested so they are Israel ni bia obehia ni bia no onye interested say ni kro me kwan wo ho nso ho kane ho. They are interested in defeating countries, defeating nations, taking over lands. That is Israel for you. Why? Because from creation, that's the orientation God gave them. Yeah, from her.
Captain Smart.
Can I disturb your peace this morning? Do you know the natural orientation of Ghana? Food.
Wait.
Any na. Asa. Opa jidi, opa jai. Ghana ha. If you die, nyame bob. Asasi we ya ye bedu ha. Say ye free Bontuku ne ba yo, say ye free Mali ne ba yo, ye free Songa Empire ne ba yo, ye free Israel ne ba yo. Ye bedu ha na ade ane hia yen. Eye duane aye die ene na.
Me da se bebre nyame shop brother Dennis Charles.
Eti Ghana ni ba bia so wa ko school or ye professor mpo said den ensu to ade e ba ni timu ye love making.
Me da se bebre nyame shop brother Dennis Charles and Kwamra. I love you all.
Makenya how there for any two from Czech wife. Czech girlfriend, Czech fiancé. Ensu to pede bebe bia ho asore.
Nyame shop brother Dennis Charles.
Meboa. June, July, June, July, yen come August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. When you say we are simu Africa, any pa ye womo do so pa ye wo April. Are you aware? Titru Ghana ha April for do so month bia because June, July is so top. Papa kwedwa mama kwedwa sabi ebi nko a.
Insune muna beshede mumayenda minkuama kumale enne anajidia
Eti oya abrante we obonu we jeden Enso 20 beshede mayenda
Gwen.
Yen orientation eye didie it is a comedy Ghana ni pe obeto abeti am pato mbo ana Eye won akọ school kakra they are just a negligible factor proportion of the population. I don't want to digress. Let me come back. It's a Bibinibia per inspection. You must be on the black man 24/7 to inspect him. Or her. And yes, sir. Obe free mrade ho. It's me who says soldier for no. After the way I'm quadad dressing no. Oh my God, I was so happy. Ye ni ye sha sesa quadad. Edin samfun school. Then ye be no, ye be born aba. Yes, I agree. At a certain level, some of the teachers were going so extreme. I mean, teacher ni bi okro bi so bi money din. Na ope about that young boy, no teacher ni pene maame.
Wani.
Ena ne maame am peno. Ena ne maame ne kope coordinating director.
Gwen.
Na otu kro nim. Eti teacher ni fa maame ne ho abufuo.
Ajeta.
Edi o tiny be sha akwada keto anim.
Ajeta.
Akwada de bibi keto de we osi gua no. Some of these things are the excesses of supervision. And I've said that, look, as Africans, we need to do a comprehensive discussion on the word supervision. As Africans, we need to have an extensive discussion on the words monitoring and evaluation. We cannot import foreign monitoring and evaluation principles and dynamics into our system. Teacher for no, you too many few on some. Eti soldier for the general crime and many Ghana forces. I wish some in soldier for we. Soldier, you know, and Okuta, your friend say, Afe, and a only team, and Manon. Wambono, Wan Jojo no. Bibini be a sadot here. Madam Catcher.
Captain Smart, the king of
Bibini, the black man. You need to give him black attention and black supervision. Black na wohono. You can't be a black. Black no any insult. I am confirming black is authority. Black is supremacy. It is a obi a bibinia. It's someone who said there is a certain authority because every black man plays the authority of God on earth. But you are a human being. It is a one shame here. Uja no be the opebia.
Apple.
So therefore, mo yes, I don't yamin shamo. Ebia no be ntiase. Date that Donald Trump say America for be about school.
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows.
Switzerland, SSSA, no, they are going to introduce punishment into their education curriculum. Dentra. Can somebody explain that to me?
Captain Smart.
Almighty Russia is saying that they are going to introduce a certain level of punishment into the education curriculum. As for the Islamic nations, Sharia law is there. Within some full school, you'll be punished. I didn't say, started here, they have taken it away from us. And again, they call for America for Sabe, woman say, who the system. You see, punishment can be regulated. Because watch this. Sabi kum nipa, ya de be court. I will be punished. Anamewa. But say you punish me with court because I'm a kum nipa. There is a laid down criteria from which the judge can select the punishment for me. Say obi akwase se akwada bia and also you want a punishment. Say punishment ankasa must be regulated. It's some of the teachers, some of the tutors, or whatever educational administrators may go overboard. What we have to do is not to take away punishment from our schools, but we need to regulate it. Number 2, Ghana higher pediatre. Ghana pet and a nipper to be sorry how much 2 a.m. not say come no. Nana Kwame 2 Nina Nani and didn't tell Dumfa. Bethlehem, Nana Kwame or 2 years and their friend Bowmy. But while Joseph Nobacco say Nana Kwame Nana say I want for 4 years I will Dumfa on 2 for 4 the Akan Tonche. Now I'm one. We don't do for the answers. Fufuna ya we na ye did Peter. The Akano, maybe the went to me and Abraham there went to me. Nana Kwame Nankasa there went to me. Where Peter would there went to me. No, my friend, so I will wait. Near Sa Wafra, near the Quina Gunia, the Sijasoni Anua, Nana Kwame or 2 way. Or best sorry how much 2 a.m. Or back one for Funa, Yano, so Nana Kwame couldn't.
Obi say boy, he did.
Catch up someone.
Obi say boy, he did she.
That's what Maka could do. Wait, we never to be sorry anytime. Maka just a come to me. Obedi, Ayadiane. It is say, Obi, I am from so school.
Obi say, boy,
they adore punishing on a giant. If you say farming is part of us, Africa, sa commercialized farming ne ade no na ye kua kese no ye betimi aye ba ye nduru ho e be chewo
Wani.
ye de no a basket food basket across every African country. And now can Crawford said, and you must understand Africa like Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah did. Eti, ube kwa gomu wate chima no basket kitu ebisi ho.
Bini au.
Uncle Kwabo, Waike,
Wani.
opening Kwabana Baini.
Oh, I don't know.
Oba Atain.
Oh, I don't know.
Adwa Bochua.
Oh, I don't know.
Tashola.
Oh, I don't know.
Womo don kete. 2 poles, 3 poles,
Oh, I don't know.
8 poles. The what do so pay 5 to 10.
Bini au.
Kaka ya kikambo mani enye aduane edi. Eti sa kwada ya bone wo school a emeye mfa do anything about farming and punishing, so that one we can take it out of our education system.
Ojai.
But we need to maintain strict discipline. Eti soldier for no nyame islamu fire there.
Wani.
And boys na nkasa soldier for no ema omo dress yie enunu omo tirim wie ye no na omo chia soldier for no omo omo atu. How beautiful.
Ojai. Ojai.
Omo omo atu. So what it means is that video that TV this now watch.
Wani.
You hear say be supervising nipa. We said that now a whole group general manager. Onye Mr. Shanoff
Oh, I don't know.
manager TV, manager radio. He is the general manager Onua group. Why is he standing here this morning? He's not even sitting. Mr. Shanoff is standing here.
Honorable.
He is here.
Honorable.
Why? He got to be here. Obedu has a say prof. I said I didn't say chinchim niama. So he say prof. He wants to be seen doing something because why? The boss is here. That is why I keep advising every African boss. Your presence alone without saying anything or giving any instruction is enough for every worker, for every subordinate under you to start. Prof, you say free, so you say, Mr. Shanoff, he see you doing something, so you take your hands off. This is how you manage an African.
Lakaka.
That's why I keep saying that African ni babia peja.
Lakaka.
With the jano, man free range.
Lakaka.
When you be ba ho so no. Niam be wo fi ho do waka so be bon so mama nyame.
Lakaka.
But anya nu ntidi e ba ye. Number 2, na me na me come any issue so rent the so.
Ojai.
I have heard, not I have heard. We were told by the ex-while administration, say, you better introduce Chinese kasa. With your schools. Please, this is rubbish.
Ojai. Ojai.
Okay? We will not sit in this country, this age and time. You try French. With your schools. You the brofo as a con by force. You show schools. You say you see a sank of Chinese. How many guns in Greater Accra and a steady gun at school? Mr. Producer, permit me. Let me leave the rent issue this morning. Permit me. Let me digress. And then, may the rent issue no better. Now, not talking about language. Because see, I need careful. Yet was na. You know say, ya brabo ina say. Say to come hey. Make country man whistle. But unfortunate situation they say. Means me intro. Now Kwame Tiwe, Godwin. Oye ofisomenya.
Emra.
Somenya ye krobo asase. From my Godwin paper. Sa some American trees say on tronko krobo so betumi atra. Godwin, get a pen and paper and start writing. He cannot. Peter is anywhere. Peter, can you write away? Mama the pen and paper. Sa some American on tron the ewe near.
Ojai.
Colonialism may be withdrawn, may have withdrawn its flags. Colonialism. They came to Africa with their flags. So in Ghana, we had a British flag. In Nigeria, we had a British flag. When you go to Mali and others, they have the French flags. They may have withdrawn their flags, but it's left behind a tongue that still governs the mind. Mr. Shanoff, he's older than all of us in this room. He understands that language is key. And let me say this again. Our colonial masters may have withdrawn their flags. So now Ghana, you don't see the red British crown flag. They say red, blue, and white. You don't see that anymore. But listen to me carefully, my dear brothers and sisters. They left behind a tongue that still governs the mind. Language, once a tool of connection, has become a gatekeeper of power, identity, and access. When African children are punished for speaking their mother tongue, when knowledge is validated only in foreign grammar, and when the native tongue is confined to markets but never parliaments, then language itself becomes quiet, cunning form of slavery. Sitting here and talking, this is what I could type. Colonialism, they may have withdrawn their flags. But these same people left behind a certain tongue that will still control your mind. And we sit here in this country and we think that language is nothing. So we have allowed the Tree language. And we have imported so many things into the Tree language. So when I sit here and say Tofiakwa, Peter, say what I say? Is Tofiakwa Tree? Is Tofiakwa Ghanaian? No. Language has always remained a tool of connection. Once a tool of a connection has become a gatekeeper of power, identity, and access. So when African children are punished and prohibited from and for speaking their mother tongues, when language is validated, when knowledge is validated only in foreign grammar, we get people who can speak very polished English. Who told you that lie? Who pass for master's degree with PhD in Abra? Now you have challenge. Who your morning show presenter? Who your bema betra? They have a topic.
He is a boy, isn't she?
Were you able to bring it up? We did.
Obi is a boy, isn't she?
African children across the continent, from the KG classroom to the energized primary classrooms to the spirited university corners, we are being punished for speaking our own language. When power is validated only in foreign grammar, and when native language is confined to the markets, but never parliaments. then language itself becomes a quiet, cunning form of slavery. Let me read what I typed so well so you can understand. This is what I wrote. I said that colonialism may have withdrawn its flag, but it left behind a tongue that still governs the mind. Language, once a tool of connection, has become a gatekeeper of power, identity, and access. When African children are punished for speaking their mother tongues, when knowledge is validated only in foreign grammar, and when the native tongue is confined to markets but never parliament, then language itself becomes a quiet, cunning form of slavery. We are still slaves. Why do we have to introduce Chinese to my little child and my unborn child? Because where will be why? You see, I get sick. You go school, no, you trust you say. Speaking of vernacular is prohibited.
Bibini, ow, ow, bibini and nipo, bibini, ow.
Bibi aba mitim na mpesa me type.
When
we nyina science and symptoms, she say a normal day di ma hu say em say bibi have when science and symptoms, she say a normal day di ma hu say em say bibi have
a hard dream. Now
He is a boy. He didn't
yeah, careful.
Jesus.
Yes, sir. We may think that Abrofrin di and so, but still omudi and so. The hard dream pan say oh. O mine na yetim no. What was ana bibia bo bitrim. 2024 it was I say your man go school and go to Chinese. When did the champion before this side the buy? China eba omem ha ye kofa bibi ba ye friend Sino-Hydro and I yes an na ebo no Sino-Hydro ko jo ponkroma no information minister edware num ka che Ghana for nyina say ye krom kwan ensuo gu adan den e be ni na tie mom kwanum to box site nko no mo sisa ye box site na fi krom akoye. Why is ko jo ponkroma? Today you have the effrontery to speak rubbish. Now what am I so you have the effrontery to speak rubbish. Somebody should call Kojo and ask him, say, Sino-Hydro scan away. Nana Adonai made you a foolish guy in this city and transported you to the corners of this country as a fool. You never anticipated your antics being managed and overhauled and re-engineered for you to present it to the Ghanaian as nobody but a cool. Today you have the guts to speak. And sometimes when I sit back and I watch people, I would like to stand, please. When I sit down and I watch people say that they've gone to school, they can speak English. I watch people, they say that we've gone to school, we can do certain analysis in somebody's language. We've gone to school, we can do a comprehensive something in somebody's language. And if you cannot actually sit down, educate, talk, inspire, encourage, motivate people in your own language, you are nothing but you are a big fool.
I am a boy, Ghana. It is a castle. O may you hear my Nenam a memoir enquietino.
I am sorry if I use the word fool, but I got no point, I got nowhere than to use that word. Listen, as Africans, we have sat aloof, watching and gauging without thinking. And listen to me, we are, listen, Africans, we are the principal architects of our own lives. Nobody is coming from anywhere to draw any line from us. It can be America, it can be UK, it can be the French, it can be whoever. They will not come here to draw any line of our developmental agenda for us. Africa started 2060, what was that? 1980 development agenda. We moved it on to 1990, whatever agenda. Then we brought it to 1996 agenda. We moved it on to 2000, then to 2010. Now, Africa is saying that we have agenda 2063. Agenda 2063. And let me tell you this. Whoever controls your language controls your mind.
God bless the blank. God bless the blank.
I'm sorry I'm speaking too much English. But I want the so-called people who think that they've gone to the university, they've done their first degree, their master's degree, PhD, whatsoever, to think that whosoever that controls your language controls your mind.
He is a boy, isn't she? Obi is a boy, isn't she?
And we Africans, sometimes when, see, even when I go to church and I see pastors of the Church of Pentecost speaking English, I'm like, are these guys crazy? It's me PIWC in Peko. Every time.
Who is seen a front for this? First of a couple of four.
When was the last time you went to America? Huh? Now we see America Brony call Billy Graham. Oh, dear, I be a preachy.
Who is seen a
preachy.
Who is seen a
We are just confining ourselves into the powers of a language. But listen to me. We as Africans, we have been conditioned to believe that fluency in a colonial language equals intelligence. I want to take the word conditioned. I think I'm being too charitable. We have been dogmatized as Africans to believe that fluency in a colonial language equals intelligence, while speaking indigenous languages signals ignorance and backwardness. Listen, growing up at Gomota Chimay, any Adumfa. Let's say, in many African schools, our children are punished for speaking their own mother tongue.
Hey, are you serious?
The school no, what can you kasa near your children? Hey,
are you seriously?
Now, me patrol, Bonnie Ben, and me say a friend of Kojo Bicham. Wait, Kojo Yirenchi. Now, me to me call Grace Preparatory School where do. Now, my kwaka, Abra. Mark fancy school. Now, Mr. J. And Madame Veronica. No ma fake no mo gwa me.
Hey, are you seriously?
You see, when we do that, you know what we are doing? We are reinforcing shame around our identity.
I'm here for assignment. When I finish my assignment,
Peter was punished, Abraham was punished, and Taru was punished, Godwin was punished, Efiatago, she was brutally punished for speaking her own language. This is what reinforces shame around our identity. So, please, I'm standing. Now watch this. When you go to a lot of places, watch this. Can I get somebody to Mafia, please come. Please come.
When
look, for example, Yako program B. Lay a bon come. Both say I know more day. Odo can give you an example. And then we have my crown. I want to tell you about Pel. I'm sorry.
Genesis was saying now. Joseph ye na adwin say obi jai.
Rofuna ye kan bebre wo ho ayeti. Bra. Odo bra. Okay. So, You know what? It's a CU. It's a standing far, and I am call you. I am tell you that if I get you, I will do it with you. What is a we back to school about how is you? Yeah. Is it by force? It is a core program, and in Ketwa Ukrumha, we are compelled to speak English. Yes. So Pentecost, Kabrofu. Assemblies of God, Kabrofu. Mahama Sue Tani, not the brofo, a cracky joke. But the old permanent can't go in Jakarta and say, because we think that, oh, that is not a beautiful language. Yeah, Kasabi wo esrem, is it fara. Omuchi omo say ansoma. Now watch this. I am walking with a fear. Check my headroom. Watch here. Anytime you learn and you take somebody's language serious, you forget yourself and you wear the crown of shame.
You're free shame.
Anytime you want to tell the world that, hey man, I am somebody, speaking somebody's language, you do nothing to yourself, but you wear the crown of shame.
I'm here for.
Why? Because you will throw away your culture. It's a former Edin Suo Mane Papa Okoto. Sremniba Edin Suo Mane Kuna Okoto.
Captain Smart.
Sremformer Mechia one Papa Wamokoto. Because you think that he went to Legon. You went to UPSA. You think that who call KNUST? What do you say? Who call her? And you know, because I won't Kakasanti. And then Ghana need to be sure Papa and I say, hi, Dad, don't be silly. Not Daniela, to me, I quite tell when you're showing so English or major English. When you're doing, what's your opinion? If we had to solve it, problem, me. Daniela, tell me. English. Yeah, the solving problem, man. But so the mere fact that you can speak English, problem man obey they are solving. Eti ene wo kopa background no one can sense so ankan kwase aborofo a oba bi ampel.
Smart.
Original plastic table private jaso. You 50 Ghana cities.
Language is the most expensive and the most powerful tool in this world. See that?
Original plastic table private
watch this.
You 50 Ghana cities. Original plastic table private jaso. You 50 Ghana cities.
Thank you.
What do you know to China? Even our national policies here in Africa elevate European languages. Even the policies that we're doing. African policies are written in foreign languages. Even our law. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. What kind of rubbish is that? And then on him the law. When you have written almost everything in English. China, let me come back home. Let me cast a show. As I mentioned, I'm a cabrofo. But this one also China, they had over 1,000 languages. Just Google. They be a catch and confess. Yes, you are there. Neja yasin kono wakwa yie watwa yasin dwom sa hwini utirim enwom kwa na wo utirim asankwa. And I have said this, in any country where every young man want to dance, check the brains of their fathers. And of course social media be a person osa In every country where every young man want to be a dancer, check the brains of their fathers. Men can't hear you. Don't come after me. Listen, our national policies often elevate European languages in education, in law, in governance, sidelining over 2,000 languages across the continent. Now watch this. China, number one. Then China, Abraham. China had over 1,000 languages. Some were speaking French, some were speaking Portuguese, some were speaking this, some were a lot of languages in China. And I remember one of their presidents, I've forgotten the name, or say, Kasani bi wo kro no akro na mkro onte. Oni me de ankrofo ne ka. Then na o reduce. Na o reduce. Na o teso. Kasa ne ye teso. Ene China for wo mo kasa wo mo tro na wo mo ka. Hwade bi di mama kasa mi tro. So be free UK. Or ye English. That there why. Okay kasa be English. Oh, I don't know. Obi fi Portugal or ye Portuguese. Okay kasa be Portuguese. Obi fi Germany or ye Dutch. Okay kasa be Dutch. Obi fi Spain or ye Spanish. Okay kasa be Spanish. So obi fi Ghana, your friend is saying Ghanaian. Kasa be no come parliament English. Are we not crazy?
Ghana for Musorio.
You see, Dada, I don't know if TV sana me say yes TV na me brain na me toy anka me pae no. Na speaker of parliament tra ono so din se hunu. Any parliamentarians no, omo so aso muti ambo ho, omo din se hunu. Then omo yam say yenya one day bia ye de be ka local language. Are you guys crazy?
Honorable member, what is your name?
Are we crazy as people? You see, the whole 300 and how many days? 360. 66 JB. GH boy go school. 365 for GH boy. My job certificate if you say what? $365 now. And what whole year, you see Ghana there, your parliament here one day they kind of got in the fafra. But 364 they could be Krum Kasa, and we are happy. We are fools. Excuse my French.
Oh,
Ghana pena with me no here. No what trap on your address shop here. No come be Krum Kasa.
Oh,
moi.
Oh,
Shall my here oh Krum ho. I don't know about day. Also I come by force.
sorry, you lost the elections.
Yeah, you cheat your festivals.
No.
Yay, Onua, ye co festivals. Obe ko no henia kan ma henia kan siesi so. O ye dey we ja ne krom kasa no ho o ka dey o ka brofo.
Oh,
Onu ye na o say mesre se mpesa me poto. O poto dey. Me kwa na se jeni na se nyadoa. O poto kontomre.
oh,
Ana o poto dey. O se mpesa me poto. O poto dey.
oh, that's why you want to be heard for the last time.
So now we have sat down and allow somebody's language to become the social class marker. So if you need to be marked, you should be marked in how fluent you are in somebody's foreign language.
Captain Smart.
Now, the elite in our society is either they are speaking French, they are speaking English, they are speaking Portuguese, leaving our Chi, leaving Hausa, the Zulu language, the Yoruba, the beautiful language I adore, Ewe. Near Onua to ho. I beni bi okroma okuja to friends say as on country obeka so on ma on monua. From okuja to on kan we. Obeka to so person kan brofo. I believe ya person obeka Ghana kasa person kan brofo. Why? What is wrong with you? Ghana pede sa uka obi krom kasa na uka ni ya bon sama ma. Uka tree na sa person ka lorry na uka lorry ya na yesre wo. kasa no me ma me de
Captain Smart.
I don't take shot.
even Chinese for the R and L no woman keka by heart. We appreciate that. What was I say? Ye kwa sorry Pentecost ye kwa sorry na India ni bi fi abrochire in the krom besra yen wo ya sorry dem oba ye no na otutwi ndum enum na oto na nyanyum ayepe wo yen de da na ase atwam mo Pentecost aso dem ye mfa anye hwe wa so dem na kwa mboa
but kakigegegegen
and the Pentecost enum na to hu ye wa da na ase atwam
but kakigegegegen metobunsanso
enum ayeto ye ba yes Jesus Eda yebe huna hanimuno yebe yes or no yenimbrase ni pedie yi wo bese san ayene fofro yebe nantel sikampano yeni Jesus be di hinda dana si etam yetu sa de
Smart.
ba India ni ba no to dana say ye na yaso asofo ni obi afa haki dam what's not what shed I didn't dinner what you say obi otin the chrome kura no pay ye kasa daka so I didn't say ye pay kasa anytime you erase the language of people you erase their memory anytime you take the language of the people from them, you erase their memory. Nana Kwame go school or two says, Opa Bisano. Sadia the teacher channel SS1. General science, Opa Fan Business or Mekasobetina Kaiba Kokra. Now, teacher got us photosynthesis. I am photosynthesis, who teaches us a day.
Oh, yeah.
Manaka Sabro for the Chosokaya.
Oh, yeah.
So anytime you take away or you erase the language of the people, you erase their memory. Nelson Mandela said something like that. The language that we speak, Kasana Yekano. Language is the archive of a people's soul. The language that we speak is our soul. Chino eye kra, eweno eye kra, dagomba no eye kra, frafrano eye kra, whatever. So, listen, say ye kaya krom kasa. What the proverbs? What the be? So, philosophies nim the same ka. Yet with the tonium and ye the two ding. You're from Mawena by force of person cabrofo. You're from Century Tree, Tinchina Tachia, Phantom from Nikete, who person was from as well. Who's that? Listen, our indigenous languages actually hold indigenous knowledge and systems. The language that we speak, it holds our indigenous language and our indigenous systems.
He is smart.
About agriculture,
he is smart.
About medicine, about peace building, and even spirituality. Who told you that lie? From Eyabosomsom, go aprede, Eyabosomsom, go asafo. Na yenya asore mu mpanimfo a woti abofom aka cho sese. A fashesi ukrom na ukobi na ye bo asafo, ye bo fontom from, ye bo aprede, ye bo kete, ye di homowo na ukobi ya. Hey, wasom bosom. It is because of Brofo. Me am going to you so I retire. I see the need to me or the two way. And then the casa idea come. What can you see so? wa hwie brofre go aso bi a wa no wi atogotem ka brofo no pacha le na oko
Ghana for mu sori o
hwe sa opesa wotete akwada pa ma ne te de wo kana se a ka enana owo no kasa kire no and we think it's normal.
Ojai.
Say, you be China, Chinese kasa. You be try a man wo cage.
Wait. Oh, I don't know.
Ewo. That's how the people you bomb me humbra. You see, sitting here, I am not advocating for us to abandon
GHY.
Ghana for mu sori o ayamunti. Minda Ghana ni do. Ghana for mu sori o ayamunti. Ghana for mu sori o minda Ghana ni do. Akai. am sick, and I'm how I am sick. Ghana for sorry, oh. Ghana for sorry, oh. I am sick, but I say that.
Ese say, am I am fakasa to say? Eya debia, etra. Look, colonial languages na yekano. They are very useful but very dangerous.
GH.
I was reading a certain document. There's this man, he's called Steve Biko. And he said something. So I just wanted to go and refresh and come back to tell you. He said that the greatest weapon in the world and in the hand of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. He's a South African activist, right? He said the greatest weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So listen, America is not interested. So who took galam say, "Who abraya sikasi mfen took galam say ase." Ekwan na ye nam so na asai no emfa America ho emfa China ho. So when ma America to China emfa ye kwan biya ho. Ye school dan ye bubu. What is our abraya sikasi mfansi?
Freedom.
Adentra China this sikaba say. Or the sikabai 2023 nim.
Our enemies are many.
Yamfanka Chinese kasa. Our hen, our schools.
Our enemies are many.
Say better cry yen compulsory. It's a say by a pilot project. Really? Come on. I just told somebody outside there, said language is the software of thoughts. Language is the software of thoughts. I just said it outside there when I was going to refresh myself. To get Steve Biko's thing. Anytime your mind runs on a foreign language, you want to be seen as speaking pure quality English, French. Your world view, your dreams, your ambitions are majority of the time foreign. And ayana minim dientia ebi before yempe bibia. I said before, ye bibia ye wono yempe. What can be kasa ohu or two adwene twene efri ne ho. Now watch this. Ghana kasa ye kana doso ye wewe ye odagbana ye wogan ye wofafra ye wokrobo ye woden ye wada ye we ye wanzima ye womfante ye woden e doso. As a country ye na ebetimi atena se efi enekwi ye kasa bebreba ye we. When you say GTV started, you feel be no more program here. Woman the local language in there here. We're feeding no. Omo kabi cry. Omo abaye mfante kakra. Omo wanzema. Omo odagbane ne. Ghana higher selected some languages I say I don't know languages I can pa ukrum ha. Baye num. Saka sana na ye kan okrum ha no. Saka ye de yadwen koso ye se omanya anka ye betimi a build saka sana be ye miensa na ye gusuka na ya be build mienu ye ni be ba ye ho so no na Ghana ye kaka sabako wonim se omanya won kasa ye baako no edin se ntokwa be si so man nim. My veteran crime for 2013. The Ametia Minuke. Diametian se minuke. Ken teshima ibu.
Bini au.
Me sorry amebo. Wo da fom ho ye prawo. Da ben na be sorry.
De o wi.
O fa na ba bie chese braha. Pa cho bra.
Bini ye ni pao.
Hey, GH boy, Antaru achebo. Chese Antaru freo.
Gwen.
Osebra.
Wonwiri se ni.
Me ban kran Diametiani. We have mistake now. Nya e di kan pe de to aso bia na asamato.
Wonwiri se nipa.
Wo pa ye mistake na fa onya e.
Gwen.
De to aso bia no e de asem bebre wo. Opa, wo de wonya atia mo onya e. We ye be ma. Fa bibi so so ho. Na wonim time na Jesus and we dey man mani aka. Say yehwe movie da say blow man no obokin ani mi no so be. Na me boa won ka bi da asema me kan ya person wo che me wi won ka bi da
Gwen.
Eti yete mfante yete kumase no na yete so me kasa wo hwese no obi bo obi blow a chese wo de ho de so me
na gbe mi
me bedu karam ki say say so me no say so me ne yanka o say pese ye ma no suyanyansa e wo ye fam ha yes say di kan say ye de ye krom kasa ne tete ye ma no ansa ye de obi kasa e de aka ho me stress yenya ye awofo no yenjai say by force aya na me dwun ha me ntia say asantini ba pa odi akwa ejewa no aka ne CS so o se brofo nko na meka are you crazy na ye den wo ya wo abrochire o ya wo stress so chinchiri tachia by force say cambrofo. So let the language revolution begin today and now. Parents, awofonom yen kakasa wo ye fie. I think I need to do a proper paper on this.
No police ni no bo ma me no nka shenkudru. Na ka me no de be
have to do a proper paper on this. We need to start a language revolution in this country and it must begin now. Where we will task our parents to speak our languages. Then I have sanka meti he kameti nkran meti twi meti dagbani meti frafra. Then I can fe etie. I am not saying throw away brofo to brofo training to French training. Me say they must coexist. Because Masha Putin di Putin te brofo pa. But what is a Putin ka brofo da? When was a Putin? Russia president. What is all ka brofo da? Or te brofo bruta. Maybe you don't know. Macron. Or English speaking college. Or France. Macron. French man penny. Or te brofo bruta. What is our camera for that?
And one is saying
if you don't know, let me tell you, Donald Trump or a Dutch of Germany or an American. Na William Trump. Now see the chancellor of your friend say Germany, Kosrano, or the nana birth certificate to Kurakomano. Donald Trump or te Dutch kasa no bruta. But what is our kabida? Then tina say United Nations. Hey, heads of state conference baby we say am penifo ina akoye nhyebu no say Chinese president China president koduru ha na waka ne krom kasa na ya kacha John Dramani Mahama say fa de hye waso na translate ma
wa beba first adu sika beba first imagine ma
say Zimping ekodu UN General Assembly na waka ne krom kasa de etimi de ema Mahama ina ne say or the earphone share na so na ya translate ya man
bibini au bibini ye nipa o
mwa
bibini
Macron koduru ha o kan krom kasa na nadu koduru de na ebobo Mahama koduru ha the same thing Jakufo the same thing Rosamis the same thing JJ Rollins the hey we need to invest in documentation and development of native language. And this must be the role of government. We need to start documenting some of our own things in our native language. We can even digitalize it. Media houses in this country must begin to create and develop content in our local languages. Even cartoons, dramas, news, podcasts, and comics. Enya India ni a okatwi. Na yakofa India sene. Na ye obi ho ade na ye de ade akota na moma so ba. Da be na wo se dagbani ni. Ye no ho ade a ye de kala kosi ni moma so. Ye igbeni ho ade a ye de color kota na moma so. Ye kani ba ho ade a ye de ade kota na moma so. Na TV stations e wokruma sabe nsem hunu nti na yakofa India ni ye no ho ade na ye katwi. Enti na India ni timi Ghana ni timi ware. Person address to say India ni more me
come tickets my bob yourself ni sanka mehin hamabu
actually. Those who are tech developers, listen to me. We need to localize our interfaces. We got to do that. Say pa keyboard yes simanim hey. Ni twi e wo mo he.
Gwen.
Ne ewe wo he. Ne dagbani wo he. Ne frafra wo he. But ene ukwasu sesi ya metimi a reset keyboard we na ma me French, na ma me Chinese.
Gwen.
Can we reorient our tech developers to have some localized interfaces, keyboards, voice assistants in African languages? Now say na me sheda wo a e mobile phone ni amane me pese me ba obi adi. O say o pese wo tie brofo a nia one
gwen.
Say o pese o ka enkran ya mia 2 na enkran no 2 ye ni 2 won kran na say o pese o ka wo di empanifo no bi kasa mia nsoroma no.
You have just 1 minute remaining.
Listen, the tech developers now, our churches must understand. The mosques must begin to preach, not just in colonial tongues, but in the spiritual language of the people. We got to start doing that. And our educators must begin to fight for the bilingual and other tongue-based education systems. Instead of sitting down and always thinking that, hey, I am this, I am that. The artists and the musicians, the kiddies, the shatawalis, the stone boys, patois is fine. But let's hear the gun, let's hear the frafra, let's hear the dagbani. We want to hear the tree. They need to preserve the sound of the ancestors in our arts. Listen. Every time you speak your mother language, you decolonize your brain. To lose your language is to lose your tribe and your identity twice. No people
smart, the king
and rise
of
above
morning
language
shows.
that teaches them they are inferior. You can never rise above that. And Africa's liberation would begin
Captain Smart
on the day, that day, when our children dream in their own languages. English, French may give you a job, but your native language will give you a soul. Can I say that again? The English that you speak, the foreign languages that you speak, that can offer you a job. But your native language, the Tree, the Ewe, the Dagbani, the Frafra, the Gan, will offer you a soul. You see, you are not truly free, and we can never ever be free if our tongue must borrow another voice to express our thoughts. Go to Parliament. The thought we express are borrowed because why? It's from somebody's language. You see, when I sit down and I read about colonialism, just one thing comes to mind. It taught us to speak. Colonialism taught us to speak, but not to speak ourselves. When the NTM Information Service, we ended up employing Nkrofo Information Service. It is a Okono Kodu Fafrasa Seswa, Untiminka Kasabia, Okodugo Muatakwa, Untiminka. That is the reason why a information service language is a mirror. Maybe you don't know. Let me look you in the eye and tell you. Language is a mirror. If you break your mother tongue, you cannot see yourself clearly. Let me look you in the eye and tell you. Language. Listen, language
Captain
is a mirror.
Smart, the king of morning shows.
If you break your mother tongue, you can never see yourself clearly. Kasa eyasheshe.
Captain Smart.
Sa woto kasa twenia. Hu ye da.
He is smart.
Language
He
is a
is
mirror.
unique.
If you break your mother tongue, you can never ever see yourself clearly. And say, I'm not careful. It's a horse. Yes, you bet you dear home. Oh my God, you're dear one never home. Obi Kasana walk. Pacho, Pythagoras theory. Say the tree that one thing can come with you. Abraham T. Say a trap Pythagoras theory. Mama Maka, Mofa board in Siaman Sokaya.
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows.
Let us teach. Let us write. And let us remember. Because until Africa speaks herself, she would only echo others. until we begin to speak ourselves. Let's say we will continuously be echoing to others. I'm sorry, sir, let me just rent the tour, but I think, sir, we Abua.
He is smart.
Yes, sir, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Chinese Kasano, yeah, my man in Suya. A dam. Sir, yes, shall say 2023, 2024. You better Chinese were in school, sir. And just by force 2025 year. Say China for the Sikabraya, ye for Madiamo. Other Tom Race Cassa, one can some clone for the two Galapsy, essay in Suli Assassin. Other Race Cassa and Fancoyano. See, even Chinese Fancy Krum Cassa.
See, even Chinese movie Crania baby, and Crabber who are friend of Ghana Chinese.
Captain the king of morning shows.
Padentina China 4% Moboya. 1 million Sika say, yay. One crop for the champagne, I bet 2 galam say, I say, yes, so the assassin. 1 brain Sika say, and find assassin in Yadiana Papedi. Now, Mokacha say, Omo brain Sika say, by force, Yanquadan and Unkrum Casa.
See, even Chinese movie Crania baby, and Crabber who are friend of Ghana Chinese. Ah, what is that? Almost young one, the India.
Me, Momudia. May a Ghana man penny there. We go do parliamentar, men Cabrofo. And just out of Brofo you. Opa writing competitions this year. Yama a topic, say a tro. I believe in the coexistence of languages. Okay? Where your language will not be seen as superior than mine. And intellect and knowledgeable people will not be measured or marked by how fluent they are in somebody's language. It is always a pain in the engine of my body, my heart.
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows.
When kings, when paramount chiefs tend to speak English because you want to satisfy who? Yeah, for the moment, Queen Elizabeth of Fahono Brofodo do our house. What want to my brother? The better now say Prince Charles or the Fugu. If UK, abase kwasirim e de akomo hini bi wosirim bi so tumfo Queen Elizabeth o chene ntimada bisa gamanche da be dana King Charles obre no pekule so pete e won kan bro funa ya tikrom ha ya kan abro funa we nim just Paris wo majimi. We've gotten to a time, listen, then efe one say oh hini bia swaya watch this Peter ukrom hini o swaya o ka brofo ada na odi ni krom kasa swaya wie dia o hye ne manfo se me ka brofo
ananu asa chiri fo
mu ntie ma hini wo krom ha yina wo ya ma hini afa brofo swaya
ananu asa chiri fo mu ntie asa chiri mu fra dance akrokre
wo swaya atre ye no wo de ye krom kasa de swaya chire ye ye bodwade a wo se me ka brofo
ananu maguna fo mu ntie
ada na wan fa krom kasa nswai
ananu madua na fo mu ntie
I no abo ayu Christo din I Edward Matheson Robertson Kojosin
bibini au
I swear but say you swaya wo di ye me kwadwo yerenchi kumani asabi
wani
akondwa kuna mi swaya ma no me swaya ma chamfo ukua da me ka chamfo ukua da ka ukua da say pacho we me di yesho me srawo achame fo ye chame ene ahenkwabo bia nchimi dedua me di trade ti me sramu aburu me di trade me Jiranchi kuma ni asabi. Yey. Me catch am for ukuada. Na fe wo boboko. Me na asmesi a wabakoro. Me papa na asmesi obako ye. A odi we bi ode somwo. Me na asmesi oba ya. Me your friend say odi akonwan bi de somwo. Me sran tam no kan tam no say. Sa wo from awie o. Anopa o. Ensuo tomo. Meba. Mi sai ade. Ada na de yan kan brofo. Nana. Ada na wo sai wan kan brofo. Wo sai wie pepepe nyantema ne tumi ni hye wo sama wo fra ntema na watram pese mpoto wo poto mo eku ana so poto je ni hold on enya ho asala nka
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows. He is smart.
Na say started say eco festival see by force amahini bi brofuna amahini ken na say what dey be eco home e ho ba bi me modi Peter Hosa wo say Brofi mahini ade dadanim. Brofi mahini didn't namriam. I myself, my people, my citizen, my citizen.
Ah, what is that?
Oka and Sandri, or say and Sandy, and Sandra. Sandra better was teaching Nana
1 and 2.
Na Sandra odidi anasa na Sandra odare e wo
say papa she 1 and 2.
Our people our people is Galapse is destroying us. Nana Obishaw. Queen Elizabeth opa kabrofa was asisu ina. Onfa fugude ntema bia mrew. Opa kabrofa was asisu ina Prince Charles was a King Charles. Onfa sesedwa emfi woma. Watch this. Prince Charles and I say broni ba besra wa himfia. Woman kenteni asesedwa. Adentra. That's your culture. But you throw away the language associated with the culture. And I'm rolling so good so I say mashentema.
The Bible clarified the word of God. Put your hands together for Jesus.
And to my share. Gwefra. Abobi be kawa. No frantema. When kusie o frantema da Rollins. You see, it sounds like a joke. But we are actually portraying ourselves to the world that we don't own ourselves.
If the drum face is there, you don't beat the side.
I fancy Hannah. I hear me question manaya asem. Enuntino
Captain Smart, the king of morning shows.
Majai. I fancy here.
Ghana for Musorio. Ayamunti.
Na mama kasa ye kan ho hia e. Finally 30 seconds. Untimi sha se okurum ha.
Adan.
No kan kwase abrofo.
Menya Ghana ni bio.
Ye chi ne no hu se nipa hia mmoa no afo tim Ghana for mu nsori o.
Ghana for mu nsori. Ghana for mu nsori o.
When he brilliant, would to be any brilliant in the Ghana for Musorio.
Ghana for Musorio.
Okay, I'm present us our Ghana Musorio.
Ghana for Musorio.
Present us Musorio.
Ghana for Musorio.
Present us Musorio.
Ghana for Musorio.
I am Muntini, I am sir.
I am Munti.
I am Muntina, me brain.
I am Munti.
I am Munti.
I am Munti.
Muntio.
I am Munti.
Muntina, me sorry. I am Munti. Muntina, me daring so.
I am Munti.
Present us Musorio.
I am Munti. Ghana for Musorio. I am Munti.
A year in the sono, I fed you, I say, when I'm sorry.
Menya Ghana ni bio. Menya Ghana ni bio.
Oh, what by Munana, what trying to say, whom am I?
Whom am I?
Whom am I?
Whom am I?
Oh, yes, whom am I?
Whom am I?
Whom am I?
Whom am I? Whom am I?
Oh, yes, Yami, who am I? Nyame ohuye mobo. Have before your problem. Mommy, I'm telling you, one day, I will come and erase this rubbish. It will happen. Even the last drop of my blood, I will lead you and I'll take this rubbish away. Maybe go to Parliament in Kwakabrofo.
Whom am I?
Some Ghana president in the microeconomic indicators and the macroeconomic indicators.
I decree and declare.
If you see that, Mr. Speaker,
I decree and declare
at the degradation of our forest with the addendumization of the Sokromodin and the Sokromoche. Mr. Speaker, the sawmill of the Tutus and the Nkwasiabrofosa.
I decree and declare by fire, by thunder.
Who born dog? I don't want to be no.
Who born
dog? I've heard the Kakra in Ghana for.
Who born dog?